There's no way this works. Krampus is a dark shadow of St. Nicholas in folklore. Throwing him into a December popcorn flick from 2015 shouldn't be the reality, yet here we are. This film pulls off something that few before it have even attempted, combining horror and Christmas. I mean, come on, think of horror Christmas movies that have been watchable. 99% of these are Redbox bottom seller slop. Ignore Gremlins, and I don't know if any movie can combine the holiday season and horror as well as this. Genuinely, I had a great time with Krampus, against all odds. I thought I was going to get a lazily crafted corporate piece of easy to digest shock humor with little shock and lots of forced laughs. Instead, I got something completely different, and hopefully less of a mouthful to say. A careful fuse between the holiday movies of our childhood, real scares, funny comedy, and most importantly, a brutal ending that tops off the 25th with some morbid thoughts. Nothing says the Christmas season like sentient cookies and zombified elves pulling motherfuckers into hell. Ugh. You know what I need after this? A little bit of Christmas. Let's get jolly. It's Christmas time in whatever town this family is from. The beginning of this movie gives us a nice credit montage of the holiday season, preceded by an onstage fistfight. The one fighting who we'll be cheering for is Max. Max is played by a good enough child actor. Thank you, MJ Anthony, you made that part bearable. From this brawl onward, the movie starts establishing itself as every other Christmas movie you've ever seen. You talk about tropey, Krampus... Fucking Krampus. Krampus has so many. The big family coming into town for the holiday, the advent calendar transitions, and a Christmas tree on fire? Wait, that might just be Christmas Vacation. For now, the movie will get goofy, hallmarky, and most importantly, there will not be a hint of scary. The horror will be a quick turn that happens later. Currently, it's just pure joy and laughs grounding you into the world of, well, the classic American family, one might say. The setup here is also the time to get our main characters established. That's done with ease by having very distinctly in-your-face and shallow characters, which is a choice. I didn't say this film was perfect, okay? There is enough scenes with our characters to make us care about the family. For Max, it's the Christmas list being read aloud. For sure, the saddest moment in the movie. This guy's wishing to Santa for the best possible things, like his mom and dad to stop fighting and everything. He's just getting laughed at. The mom and dad are well built out because they have nothing really. I just like Adam Scott and Toni Collette. Their characters aren't that great. I mean, they're good parental figures. Also, they make non-horror movie-esque decisions most times, not acting like complete idiots. Though now I sound like I'm making excuses for them, so let's just move on. Krampus is very intentionally trying to pull off this fuzzy holiday setup for one main reason: IP value. The other more main reason is to lean into the Christmas feeling to weaponize it. Yes, sir. The more cliche the setup feels, the harder the tonal pivot will hit. Speaking of which... boom! The world is cursed and everybody dies. You like that tonal shift? Krampus has one that somehow feels more sharp than mine, and much more satisfying. When it goes there, the horror aspects of Krampus go hard. It's a ton of practical effects, which I appreciate. Maybe it's just that slight Gremlins feel, but actually seeing these puppets up close made me feel like I was watching an older movie. Krampus is also done without a lot of CGI. I initially thought Krampus himself wasn't scary, because his first appearance is all CGI and he's just like running atop rooftops like a dumbass. By the end, his face and features would have easily given me some childhood nightmares. You know what else would give me some childhood nightmares? The elves. You have these scary toys of all shapes and sizes. However, these man-sized undead-looking elven creatures take the cake for me. Okay, wait. Maybe this giant clown is scarier? I think Game of Thrones conditioned me to hate these guys a bit more. All these creations might be stretching the Krampus folklore, but it's all entertaining enough to make me happy. Speaking of folklore, Krampus has this awesome animated flashback scene. In it, the family's grandma tells the story of Krampus and how it kills families and stuff. From that moment on is when the scares really start to ramp up. I don't know about you, but multiple different random devil posse scares into the endgame with a mythic legend of a donkey or goat or whatever this guy is, that's plenty of scares, supplemented with a rich history all going down as the movie turns chilling. The deaths themselves are not always a great example of that chilliness that I'm talking about. Most of them happen off screen with the PG-13 rating. Plus, up until the very end, the people that die are not likable. Although they're kids. They're kids, Gio. Jeez, do I not have a heart? It's Christmas, guys. I'm sorry. I would love to see a version of this where maybe it's an older crowd and we see some real brutality. These antagonists had the tools to really fuck people up. Like, imagine this little gingerbread man just fucking eating flesh and just, going inside somebody's mouth or something, breaking open their head or some crazy stuff like that. Because the horror is not insanely over the top, it works a lot better with the other aspect of the second and third act. All the laughs. Krampus loves to throw in little quips or reactions from people to try and get a chuckle. They also have Todd Packer running around doing his thing. I don't love this guy's shtick, but it's toned down enough to be tolerable along with the horror. This movie really does a great job of mixing in comedy at the right time. Krampus never tries to make a joke out of the big moments. It knows how to respect itself in that way and still deliver comedy and horror in tandem. The end of the movie brings out some more chaos. Everyone just starts dying after we've already lost like 2 kids. Now we have one dad dead, auntie dead, grandma dead, the better dad dead, both moms dead, the other kid dead. That's all in the span of 20 minutes. Holy moly, insanely dark place to take this one. I love that, how it's willing to go from so light to so dark. Even with the PG-13 rating, Krampus is able to bring the terror, all because it's willing to provide the other half just as strong. Oh yeah, sorry, and Max dies, too. Max dies. He gets thrown into hell with everyone else. This could not be a more somber ending. Right. The ending scenes in Krampus are fun and symbolic for what this film does well. You first see Max wake up after he dies. He wanders out into the living room and it's Christmas morning. There's his whole family, opening presents, having a great time. It's the sweet Hallmark movie ending that we all know and might love. Sunshine and rainbows. Until Max opens a present that is not from anyone here. The gift is from Krampus. The whole family looks around in an almost panic. The camera zooms out, and we see that they are actually inside a snow globe, kept with many other snow globes inside what I presume is Krampus's lair. What a twist, man. They're doomed for eternity. Look, whatever you think of the twist, it does show off exactly what I'm talking about with the Christmas and horror combo. The only ingredient missing from the end is the comedy. Without that present, I'm not sure this movie would have worked. Almost like how I can see the end doesn't work. You need the comedy there. The comedy is what allows Krampus to flow so well with 2 very different genres. The laughs even out how this movie is interpreted. It makes it so that when the horror is a little hard to believe, you remember it's not that serious. The balancing act of Krampus results in a movie that I will probably watch again in a future December. I really appreciated the time that seemed to be put into this movie. I will normally never go for a film that is not strong story-wise, but Krampus is now one of those exceptions. Maybe it's just a holiday blind spot. Either way, I will not soon forget how this movie pulled off the impossible. It's not a surprise so many other films have failed to get any recognition in the Christmas horror genre. To be able to bring the fear, the comedy, and the love all anchored together with something so many can relate to, Christmas, it truly puts me in the Christmas spirit. I fucking love Christmas. It's no need to kill me, Krampus. And with that, thank you, Colleen. Specifically you, Colleen. And of course, to everyone else who watched this one, thank you. Yeah, this was a way better watch and time making this video than I expected. As you can see, I was able to put the room into Christmas mode, so it's just, Been a lot of fun actually getting to work on a Christmas movie, get myself in the mood. If you have any other thoughts on Krampus, or you want to see me do the sequel, because I think there's a sequel, just let me know in the comments, and I'd love to chat about that or get working on the next video. Besides that, I do have one small announcement I want to make real fast. That is a shout out to the Fresh Out the Film podcast. That is me and my sister's podcast where we get out of the movie theater after watching a film, get right in the car, and talk about that film immediately. We try to capture a lot of the energy from the theater and literally record the podcast in the movie theater's parking lot. So we just released Wicked Part 2, and our next episode coming out is going to be Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair. That's both Part 1 and Part 2. So if you want to check those out, please head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or just on my YouTube channel. They're also sitting over there too for you to listen to. So thank you. But yeah, I think we're done here. So, deuces.
You're a monster, Mr. Grinch. Your heart's an empty hole. Your brain is full of spiders.